It says, so I'm going to hit this go live button.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to record as well.
It says we're live, so I'm going to read out the following, which somehow I've made larger than I normally do. Why is it expanded up to 175%? Let's put it back down to 100% so I can see it all in one screen. You are listening... Use all my voice, I'm just talking nonsense. You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly JoJo's Bizarre Adventure podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Aria.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of the 20th to the 26th of November, with the exceptions of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 6, Stone Ocean, Episode 24, Jailbreak, in which I guess they make a plan to make a jailbreak. I guess they're on their way to doing the jailbreak by the end of the episode.
It's difficult to plan a jailbreak when you can only plan like 3 steps ahead at any freaking given time.
Yes.
We shouldn't have forgotten how to get the rights to use that song name.
Yeah. I thought the background I'm using where Jolene accidentally gets distracted. She keeps rewinding a movie in the library, and everyone else is like, "What the fuck? Get out of here!" It's like I can't follow this fucking plot at all. Why is he going in here?
It's they don't say as much to say what they are in the comics. It's the Ninth Gate. You know, it's like Johnny Depp is the author. He's trying to write on a book that was written by the devil. And she spoils the ending and saying, "This reminds me of The Sixth Sense for he was dead at the end." And it's, oh, come on! Just spoils movies and all the movies I got in there.
But I feel like her reading the comics, like this is one of the stand powers that makes more sense in comics because you read a panel, and it's like Jolene can't remember the panel before those last 3 panels. If you think about it that way, is a good way to think about it.
This story is confusing.
What like set up. Continuing punchline. It's like, what the fuck? Where that came out of nowhere? Yeah.
Too many characters in this.
Yeah.
So then she notices Mew Mew looking at her hand. So she looks at her own hand and sees there's a note saying, "Don't trust anybody who looks at your hands." And then I think
that note.
And then I think it's just like
lies.
They're just like a message which says "punch her," which she. Yeah, just like she punches outwards, and then we see the stand and it flees. Yeah,
and she's chasing it down the corridor, and then she sees like the same sign for like what section of the prisoner in 3 times, and she's like, "Wait, why am I running? Who am I chasing?" And the guards are coming after her. It's like, "Oh, I'm running away from the guards. Okay, that's what's happening now." So yeah, can't really keep track of anything that's going on, and it starts with the interesting visual of there's like 2 guards on one side and then there's 2 guards on the other, but she can only remember that there's 3 guards at any given time. So one of them like erases from her, not her perspective, but
her field of view.
Yeah. She can only keep 3 guards in existence at any time for visionary purposes. Yeah.
She does remember. And refreshes of her front store memory phone, that staircase where Emporio's room is. So
because she knew that before. Yeah.
That's all right. I can do this. I can do this. Just gotta remember how to walk downstairs.
The problem being that if there's more than 3 guards, then she can't remember that. What's her name that uses the jail stand?
Mew Mew. Her full name is Mushia Mueller, who it turns out to be the chief guard of the prison.
She was in disguise as a prisoner this whole time. She just wanted to find out where Emporio was hiding out in her prison. So yeah, and Jolene led her right to him. He's still getting inadvertently electrocuted and trying to remember that he has to print something out from the computer, but he forgot he electrocuted himself. And
it goes Zoolander for a minute. It's inside the computer.
That and it's like, "Hey, Jolene, you're here. I have to tell you something. You have to tell me something. Yeah, I have to tell you something. What do you have to tell me? I have to tell you something?" It's like, oh, God damn it.
Pipe down, shot ahead.
The computer gets broken. Yeah, he's got the thing to say, print things out. Or is it the computer's broken, or does they just think the computer's broken because the monitor's broken?
The guard comes in, shoots 4 times, so that Jolene can keep track of one of the bullets that she shot the computer with and Emporio with. So she can only block the 3 bullets that are coming at her.
Still blocks them all somehow. But what? I can see all the reflection of all the bullets in the one puddle of water. So
in Emporio's blood that he's bleeding out on currently. So I can see all the bullets at once. So you can't shoot me with several bullets. I'll lose track of them. That's the logic of it. Yeah.
That's cold for just shooting a young lad as well.
Well, he's a very muscular child. Maybe she's actually just evil. Obviously, she runs an evil prison to keep stand users in. Yeah.
Okay, I'm reminding myself of the absolute nonsense of how they stuff of like the binary code. Yes.
I need you, Jolene, to print it out in binary. That's how it works. It's amazing because I was like, wait, is she gonna like stitch this into her brain? It's like, no, just print it out using your stand. It's like, okay, that is a unique use of string, certainly.
It's like a fucking just can remember from time to time like fun. No, I can make like strings and wires, and like but remember that time we kind of sent like the little like word bubbles down it. Well, I've really expanded that concept. We've been delivering whole like fucking like lines of programming that program you to kill.
Yeah, but it's basically that when Jolene pops out, there's like a shitload of guards. There's way more than 3 guards, but she can only keep track of 3 of them at once, so she can't see Mew Mew. But if she prints out a picture of her using her stand, the 0s and 1s will form an image of her. I'm guessing she's just printing it out as is.
Well, that's just her front. That's her headshot from the prison file photos. It just goes that one.
So now I can see her. Actually, that is a very satisfying aura as well. Oh, it's very well animated.
It's just like, we got to have like the complete dickhead, who's like being super duper cruel. He's like, always has fucking something up their sleeve or whatever they think up of, but always get the beat down in the end. Like this is the kind of like the corners he paints of Vinta, because he kind of just says like, outside some exceptional things, the stand power remains the same from the off.
Yeah.
So now how do I engineer this outcome using that set of steps of where can I extract this concept as much as I can? Was how you wind up with programming.
Yeah.
Print it out. Oh.
Yes, and once bludgeoned, she submits to their wishes, and they just use her power to escape the guards.
I thought it was that they beat her into unconsciousness, but her power is still currently running. So Jolene drops the 3 bullets she caught earlier. The guards are like, 1, 2, 3. What were we doing here? I can't think of anything.
I couldn't tell because they are talking to her, but maybe they're just talking to her unconscious body. But
yeah, could be.
Well, they're part of the sick bay, at least.
Yes, they
mostly because their friend is there, not for
This is Jailbreak. You in? Sure thing, amigo. I got someone to avenge downstairs as well, so I gotta get that fucking priest. I hate him.
Yeah, and then we check back in on Poochie, where he feels like I kind of almost want him dubbed by Will Arnett now, because he is very much, I've made a terrible mistake.
Okay. I also appreciate that out of nowhere he seems to have manifested a cowboy hat, which is just very nice.
Okay with the stand, best things.
He's feeling incredibly ill. His stand isn't working like he expects it to. He saves a carton of eggs that a lady doing her groceries has dropped, hands it back to her, and then he starts feeling even less well than he was before he saved the carton of eggs. He touches
her hand when he's passing back, like, thank you, Padre, that kind of thing.
And it accelerates the watch and also accelerates time around her as her nails grow long and her eggs have hatched into chicks.
All right,
sort of.
You know the way they censor like cigarettes or like a dude bleeding profusely from the neck or something like that? That's the thing they should have fucking censored. That was gross as heck. I didn't need to see that.
Fantasy violence. It's all fine.
Yeah.
Well, they can say that is the Netflix thing. Is we don't have to worry about those black blockouts anymore. Yes, I've got to go to Kennedy Space Center. It's calling me.
I'll take the stand to the moon.
Yeah, I quite like his personality change now. Of like, oh, I've lost my free will almost. I'm just being guided by this change that's been made to my stand.
Talk about a bad hair day. However, about the triple ponytail and one at the back there. Like his eyebrows are going across his face and into his sideburns. It's just like, no, this isn't a good look at all.
Yes, this is very much like, oh, we're heading towards the finale in the next 16 episodes or whatever. 14, I think. Is it 14 or 16? I can't remember. There's a fair old chunk still to come. In tomorrow, I think, isn't it? 1st of December it drops.
Yes, it is. Yeah. What's the first thing you do when you break out of prison? You go to Disneyland. So did you go to Disneyland?
Excellent. Well, we'll check on that next week. Meanwhile, other time travel and time machine stuff is happening in Tatami Time Machine Blues, episode 2, in which I looked up the guy in the glasses. Yes, he's from the first series. He is in the same position he is in this series, but he is also the leader of the secret society. I can't remember what the full name of the secret society is. Because he shows up and, he shows up after they've sent the other... he shows up before they use the time machine again. They're trying to decide, where should we go with this time machine? Now we've got a time machine. Let's go to the future. That's the obvious thing to do. No. Let's not go to the future. It'd be terrible if you went to the future and discovered that you died. It'd be a real big bummer.
Dinosaurs?
They're not thinking of
dinosaurs?
if you know how you died, then you're invincible up to that point,
Yes.
except for causality and all that shit. But
Yeah.
never mind that.
Dinosaurs? Dinosaurs? I wouldn't say we could, but with the current
We
stuff,
have to go back in a 99-year gap, so we'd have to go back, 150 million times?
Yes, they'd be dead before they got there, yeah. I think it's 1.5 million, yeah.
Yeah.
Go to era period, do a little kind of on-location shooting, you do like that. Some more footage in there. It's like, no, we're just going to do a simple solution, okay? Just to kind of test it out.
Let's do a practice one, yeah.
Go back to yesterday, and we will stop the air conditioner remote from being broken.
Well, no, we don't have
Everyone's
to stop
happy?
it. We just need to steal it. And then now we have it in the future, so we can use the air conditioner. And it's like, oh, that's a very simple one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Then the guy with the glasses comes in. We get a bit back and forth, which indicates that he's had conversations with them about this machine that they're yet to have.
Yeah. They told him about this machine yesterday or
Yes.
before that. So, yeah.
Yeah, they do rock, paper, scissors to decide who's good at, because all 6 of them can't get onto the machine.
It's one Tatami, man. It's too
yes.
small.
So the 3 winners are Higuchi, the dental assistant, and Ozu, and then they're like, in retrospect, this was the worst 3 we could have sent back in time.
Yeah.
They're proven right by the end of this.
Yeah. So they travel back, surprising the guy in the glasses. Then the shabby guy shows up, and he accidentally reveals that he's from 25 years in the future, and it was his time machine.
Let me tell you about the amazing adventures I've had inventing this time machine.
Yes.
Well, it was kind of just the exact same. It's just 25 years from now. Same building, same rundown old rooms, same everything.
I like it when they're on there having the conversation. It's like, so what's the future like? It's like, well, I'm a student here, and they still have the book fair.
Oh, good.
They'll be doing the bonfire soon, so
Yeah.
that's nice.
Oh.
That's nice to keep the tradition going. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. And it's like, oh, that bathhouse closed down. It's a 7-Eleven now. It's like, oh, what? Oh, I love that place. That sucks. It's like,
And then he starts talking about why he's there, because he was sent here by his dad, because his dad used to stayed here when he was at university. He's heard this
a
mum.
lion must throw its cub
Yes.
off a cliff. It's like, you must suffer as I did.
And then the head of the theatre guy is like, no, hang on, you keep stum about that, because you might accidentally end up changing your future and you'll stop existing. And then they suddenly dawns on them, hang on a second, we're going to do the same thing with the air conditioning remote control. If we bring the remote control back to the future,
there won't be a remote control to destroy, which means that the reality we live in, which the remote control has been destroyed, though a minor change affects causality badly, and the universe might destroy.
And someone was like, well, that's not going to affect me, I'm from the future. And then he's like, no, it's going to destroy the entire universe.
See, I would have thought the simple one was to take the broken remote control, go back in time one day, replace it with the working remote control, and then you would have spilled Coke on an already broken remote control and be none the wiser.
Yeah.
That's me, though.
And then the time machine comes back, and but without the people who were on it, just a note to tell the rest of them to come and join the fun.
God. Oh.
Hey, let's just send them a lift. This is great. It's like, oh God, no, guys, just get the remote control, or don't. Actually, that would cause the end of the universe.
A very cavalier attitude to the existence and use of a time machine. You know, I mean, just even the way it was put together. It's like just one drunken night we're arguing about time travel again. We said, "Why would us fucking do it, lads? Why would us fucking do it?
Yes.
Yeah, let's fucking do it." And we got a wonderful montage then of like fun. Yeah, science pals putting things together, fun, roping in like other students, like scaring them off, getting complaints from the neighbors.
The montage was great because it gets across that students are students no matter what fucking era it is, and the whole thing of these have their own thing going on, like the guy with the photos from a photo machine. I guess they still have those. That must be retro at this stage. But like you can see he's getting together with a girl and break up with a girl as this thing scrolls by as they're inventing the time machine. The foreign students helping them out with it who shout English at you backwards. And I'm like, is that a future thing where they can make that physically appear so you can kind of read it to try and understand what they're saying a little better? I don't know, but it's very annoying and it's always backwards.
Yeah. They're like, tomorrow, do you know how this works? He goes, no, I'm only the pilot. They're like, you're the pilot, you're the one who should know how it works the most. And it suddenly dawns on him that, oh, I'm just a lab rat sent back in time to see if this worked.
Because initially he's like, oh, I'll just go in like a minute after I left, and that way they'll be none the wiser, right? Because I spent the day wandering around. It's like, yeah, but there's no like hour thing in it. He's like, there's not? Oh, shit.
Oh, man, I absolutely love the episode. And the punchline at the end of that note, I was like, oh.
Pretty great.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have sent them up. We knew, but we did it anyway. I don't know.
Yes, because like, one of the other things, because Ozzy's like, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking of going back to the start of 3 years ago when you started university.
Giving your first year version all the advice that what to do, what not to do. It's like, I'm just going to go back in time and ruin your life more.
There'll be two of me ruining your life.
What is your problem, man? Why do you have it out for me?
Well,
just loves drama.
He does. Also, watch the original series to find out more.
Like a slimmer chunk of it this time. Just as well as like that was just like the right point to kind of cut it rather than do anything more. So it's just an interesting way to go about it. Once they can do that because it's just being open a streaming service anyway.
It is, and some interesting other Disney anime announcements this morning. They're doing one of Tezuka's Phoenix segments. It's going to be on there, and there's something else with the artist of Promised Neverland doing the character designs.
Okay.
Yeah, and Song-Hoo Park is doing some things to them as well.
All right.
Yeah, it's weird that possibly Disney Plus is your outlet for art house anime. It could turn out to be.
How did this happen? Yeah.
There we go. I'm not going to complain about it though. Particularly,
I will see.
Particularly if you're not in America, then Disney Plus is a much better value for money than it is there.
Yeah.
Then on to actual things which came out this week. Poo Poo Molcar Driving School, Episode 7, The Terrifying Undersea Tunnel, in which the Molcars take a trip in an undersea tunnel.
It's not just a driving school, it's a school, so they take class trips.
Yes.
To the aquarium. Yay.
But they have to learn how to follow the rules.
Pick up your rubbish.
Pick up
to
rubbish.
Feed the animals.
Yes. And then they get the terrifying part is a giant shark starts terrorizing them.
When you were worried there was going to be like less new animation in this and stuff, it's just like, oh yeah, but the backgrounds of the fish, they're kind of like, this isn't like new felt stuff, and then a giant felt shark, you're like, all right, okay, you're back in my good books.
That's the scariest thing rather than felt I've seen.
And then the interior of a giant felt shark, as well as Teddy once again is the one who has to defeat a shark. This time, not by blowing it up, by leaping into its mouth and eating all the garbage that it has swallowed, which has made it grumpy in the first place. So it's an important lesson. Don't throw your rubbish into the sea, because it will make...
a shark might eat it, and then a car might eat it, and that would be bad.
Then, yes, the shark cars might kill you.
Yes.
Because the cars, they haven't learned how to drive properly yet, and they were involved in citywide ordeal of destruction a mere weeks ago. So be careful. Bin it.
But yeah, this was a good one. It's good action. I like the callback of it's Teddy again. Is the one dealing with the shark. Then we got Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun, Season 3, Episode 7, Clara's Toy Box, and Night Filled with Screams, but mainly Clara's Toy Box. This is, I think it's 3/5 to 2/5, I think, in probably how it's divided.
Yeah.
Clara's Toy Box is Clara attempting to seduce Iruma using her succubus skills that she's learnt, which seems to involve... the way it's animated, it seems to involve shoving Iruma down her trousers, or I guess into the pockets of her magic
her
pockets.
Powers work that if I can envelop you in my clothes, that's technically a pocket. So you're in my pocket now.
Yes. Yes, I guess it's...
I think it's her legs are still in the legs of the mascot thing. So because she kind of when you see some of the key art, she just has it kind of tied around her waist like it would with a jumper. When she has it down. So it's okay, this is all kind of it's just got to zip it up, and now we're inside
pocket dimension.
Domain expansion.
And once inside, you become super deformed, and there's loads and loads of toys for you to play with. And it's like this weird, funny, but also kind of sad, because it's oh no, she's got all these feelings, but this is the only way she can pass it at the moment still is she's dressed like a preschool supervisor in Japan as well, isn't she? That's how she's dressed.
Yeah.
I was and essentially behaving like her mum is around the younger kids in her family.
She's taken on essentially that kind of role because that's the best she can come up with right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's only a frame of reference to see. So
yeah.
Yes. And so yes, it's this. They just play and play and play, but she doesn't realise there's a side effect of her power, which it drains people's mana. As we get a flashback of
which is very bad for demons like Iruma.
Yes. Yes, if you're head over heels, it will. And then they both end up falling asleep because it realizes, I'm head over heels for Iruma, so it's also draining my power as well. And eventually they emerge out of the toy box, and then the two girls nick everything they've got and lick it.
I'll get my revenge later.
Yes.
Also, it's nighttime now, so they've wasted the entire day. Well, they wasted the rest of the day dicking around in the toy box.
And I think the second part is Caligo's job of essentially preventing any of the children being killed by monsters.
You fail.
Besides the other reasons that Harry Potter is bad, but the idea of putting children in this kind of fucking danger is very bad. It's they don't do that even at demon school, man. I just go I quit, and a guy will show up with a Cerberus and fucking kill the monster that's trying to kill you, and get you out and get you healed. You'll be grand, no problem.
You don't want to see you beat it with summoning, Dwayne. That isn't the proper way to do it. Do it with summons. That's just not the spirit of the thing.
Dear.
Good episodes. Plenty of Clara. We get a song. We've got to mention there was a song as well.
The song, just a Clara song, not Vladek family, spectacular. But
I think I saw someone saying she's leveled up because she can now perform the musical numbers by herself, which is that is impressive. Yeah.
Agares has somehow found time to build an entire mansion in the forest, with using his first day, which
he just had to fall asleep there, so that's fine. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a kind of gaggle of girl demons they kind of run into for shelter. And it's who is enters my castle? And it's when I was eye mask on, he's total babe.
I think the best animation of the whole episode is that little eye stalk girl slapping her face into a wooden beam in the castle.
There's some good stuff for the next episode. So.
Okay, excellent.
Yes, and also the explanation of how they've built a castle as well. It's the way his power works is quite strange. I mean, it's kind of works on like the same extrapolation as Clara's works here.
Okay.
But I do like this arc overall because it's giving us lots more stuff with characters who we haven't really necessarily spent too much time with.
I do love in the opening, besides the opening musical number, but where they're going through how many points they need to get to progress. You still see that one character who we've not met in the class up to this point. Flashing by, blinking, you'll miss him. He's definitely there. I don't know what rank he is, so presumably he'll have to rank up whatever the hell he is.
Maybe he gets an exemption because he's a ghost, presumably.
I think that will be dealt with this season. Assuming this is like a full 21 episode season again. Then it's Spy Family, episode 20, Investigate the General Hospital and Decipher the Perplexing Code. And again, this is much like the Iruma-kun. It's very heavily the first part and not so much the second part. So they've got to do like a work study at the school, and so it's take your daughter to work day, and Anya is dressed up like Sherlock Holmes. There's no need for an explanation. It's just funny that she's got a Sherlock Holmes outfit.
I was told to do an investigation. This is investigation gear, Dad. Also, she thinks about going with the ma'am on her job, and that gives them the excuse to have her go like, I could take, which job should I take her on the murder job or on my government job? And extended sequence of her imagining how she'd murder someone really stylishly.
Yes.
Probably not.
They've got like mother and daughter matching assassin outfits in the fantasy that yours having.
It's adorable, but then Anya gets covered in fake pink blood because it is a fantasy after all. And I probably shouldn't take my daughter murdering the pigs who have betrayed the state. I'm going to go with Dad. It's like, that's a good idea, Anya. Yes, I think you should.
The big gag is that she's got a notebook, but she keeps on writing down what he's thinking, not what he's saying.
Not what he's saying. So why are you taking notes at the most random times? It's like because you keep thinking really cool spy shit.
But also for us, the viewer, it explains exactly how Lloyd is undercover, and he does do a job when he wanders off to do a job here.
There's two other funny bits, one of which is Anya being like, very smug about it when he's like, well, a doctor can't see into a person's heart. You know, we have to extrapolate on what they're thinking because we don't know what they're thinking. And Anya's like,
Doctor can't.
But I'm fucking great. But the other part is Lloyd not understanding is like, I have to do like psychiatric work with like war veterans and stuff because they've got a lot of trauma left over from the war. It's like, look at thyself, doctor, and heal thyself. Yeah, too stupid to realize it.
I think we also briefly introduced to a character who I believe is more important later on.
I think she's going to be properly introduced the next episode.
Yes, she's just always
Twilight, Midnight,
Agent Nightfall.
Nightfall. Yes. I couldn't think of her name. Yeah, thank you.
Because they explain he's not alone as being undercover at this hospital.
The
set piece though is Anya finding a secret passage in his office, getting stuck in the ventilation, and scaring a group of psychiatrists who are discussing what believing in ghosts means.
We shouldn't rule it out. I feel a study in our understanding of the human mind.
This is ridiculous. This meeting is cancelled and Anya's foot is caught in a thing, so she's trying to get it out while keeping her voice down. It's like, what's that? There's no room above this room. What could it be? Just freaking them the fuck out and causing paranormal investigation into a medical facility. Congratulations, Anya, on wasting the national budget.
And then she does her report, and it's a mishmash of the cover identity.
It's initially glowing.
And and the spy stuff, which then sort of portrays Lloyd as a corrupt psychiatrist who is
abusing his patients.
As the narrator says, he does get called in. It's like, sir, your daughter said some disturbing things. It's like he cleared it up. It's fine.
Yes, I do like
just
that.
Made his life a little awkward.
It's like we don't have to see that Lloyd is very good at his job. We just have to be told that yes, and of course he's very charming, so he was able to straighten everything out.
But it's funny because Anya made his life more difficult. Yeah.
And then decipher the perplexing code. Is that another Frankie romance one?
It's that's the joke at the end.
That's what
of
it winds up being.
Yeah. Okay, right.
It's Anya. Like again, it kind of comes off the last episode. Her handwriting is terrible, as we saw in Lloyd trying to decipher her notes. So she gets Yor to write out a grid of a code for her, and she's passing along. It's like top secret to everyone who will possibly take the top secret message, including Frankie, who by the end of it assumes it's a message from Lloyd. And it's basically meet me at Saturday at 8 on this bridge, that kind of thing. But Anya sleeps through it, whereas Frankie assumed it was from a hot girl.
Yes.
He's just lonely, man. He's just a very lonely man.
He's coming on too strong. When you've been to flowers the first time.
No. Trying to make a good impression, but he stayed up all night and he looks like shit because he's too excited. But you get lots of fun reactions from all of her friends and everything who she's passed a secret code onto. Yeah.
Then we got Pop Team Epic, Series 2, Episode 8, Pop Team Epic Battle Royale. We opened, though, with a kamikaze short, which is split by the opening credits. They are doing Shiritori. Is that the game where you have to, like, start the next word with the...
Yeah. Last syllable.
The last syllable is to be the first syllable of the next word you say. That kind of thing. Yeah.
But they're changing. They're using particular dictionaries in order to do it, and they end up accidentally calling out the Sage of the Forest, Apple Gorilla Trumpet.
We all know that. We've all that happened to the best of us. Everyone knows him. Like a fucking dude you'd see in a box of cereal.
I like the mix between pineapple and apple. I thought that was a nice touch, yeah.
Then we get the main story, the Pop Team Epic Battle Royale by Space Neko Company, and the girls are in PUBG. Before they parachute out the aeroplane, they've killed that pervert from the farm episode again.
He dies before they even jump out of the plane. Another guy dies jumping out of the plane thanks to Popoco stealing his parachute.
Then they say to each other, let's see who can kill the most people, and then they spend most of the episode shooting at each other immediately.
Yeah. They're very good shots except for hitting each other, it seems, yeah.
Nice carnage, though. That's nice little kind of little micro action sequences here. They got a car chase fitted in there and everything. But a fucking cheater, though. The cheater in the ranks. He's just got aimbots on. He's got the obnoxious costume. Everyone hates this lad.
So PPB sacrifices herself so Popoco can win, and the way that she makes sure that Popoco can win is she goes and kills the guy playing the game in real life.
Because you have all these scenes of like guys getting shot through the fuking head, and then they dissolve into digital avatarness. So it's like there's no actual violence, but this guy's bleeding out from a hole in the head on his keyboard. That guy's fucking dead for real.
Well, you die in the game, you die in real life. That's the ultimate thing.
You cheat in the game, you die in real life. Yeah.
There you go, kamikaze short, where Popoco wants to know if PPB can don cheeky, and then she starts don cheekying.
The thing we always do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going left to right. Then, humanity cannot escape Popoco's cuteness. That's where they dress the Earth up to look like Popoco. That's another kamikaze one.
Yep, not worth invading.
Pop Team Cooking. They're playing with whipped cream. Then Popoco gets turned into a musical instrument, but PPB refuses to play it because she prefers the normal Popoco. Then they've kidnapped a hot guy, and they want him to do some ASMR for them, but it's terrible.
I want a piece of shit hot guy streamer to fucking say some stuff, and he's like, oh, like he's tied to a chair and gagged, and he does this like, oh, what a fucking piece of shit, fucking kill that guy. It's great.
Then there's an Akaboo one where Popoco's in class and her head goes pop.
She hits her limit break, yeah.
Then there's two guys hitting each other with bamboo shoots and mushrooms.
Having a fun time. It's just like two great friends having a great fun time.
Yeah.
You don't shove onions up people's asses. You don't get it. Get out of here.
Then I've written down Pop Team Epic Delivery. I can't remember what that sketch was.
It's an Amazon delivery that's very short and very funny. Yeah.
So it's like, oh, here's Cthulhu, here's your packet syrup, throws it on the ground, slaps it in, and fun slaps him on the face.
It's the rudest possible delivery. Yeah.
Then a very old PPB is reminiscing about old video game glitches to a normal aged Popoco. And then Popoco starts glitching in the way of that one JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game where Bruno's hair merges into his skull.
Oh, dear.
And then Popoco's got a Jack in the Box, I think. It's the very last sketch. And then it goes into the ending theme, which is completely different again. It's the same song, but it's performed different ways.
It reminded me of like a bunch of 90s cartoons things. Yes. Like, I was thinking, did Daria have an ending like that? Or Space Ghost and that kind of shit? It's going for that kind of visuals.
Oh, it's like distortion. With the visuals,
distortion with the music and the visuals. Yeah.
No, not Daria. Daria just had like all the characters done up in like in wacky costumes.
Yeah, there was some MTV fucking thing that had a ending like that, and I can't think of what the hell it is.
It seems very much aimed at people my age, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Who were the voices this week? The second half is the Metal Gear Solid guys, isn't it?
Akio Otsuka and Kenji Hiroyuchi, so they're Snake and Raiden.
I mean, like, they say it in the fucking episode, so, you know.
It's your two ladies from DigiKara then. In the
That's it, yes. It's
okay.
And it's DigiKara and the Rabbit Girl, because the woman who plays the little cat girl has already been in an earlier episode as part of a different duo.
Right.
That's Asami Sanada and Kyoko Hikami.
Obviously, it couldn't match up to last week's because what will, but I did enjoy.
I mean,
it
was good. It's just last week was amazing.
But I can understand you don't want to try it too wild after the last wild thing you just did. So
yes.
Don't do it. Just keep a nice straight format, as straight format as it gets anyway.
Yes, just lead into like lots of short sketches. And the PUBG references, and I think like the Death Loot thing, or I can't remember which game that is.
The Death Box. That's Apex. I think
that's it. Yes,
they turn into boxes. There's a bunch of games where people.
I think you're right. I think Apex is it, but yeah,
like
PUBG
is
the general look of it.
I mean, like, they have some good jokes of the way they move to dodge each other is very video gamey as well, if that makes sense. Like, unnatural first-person shooter moving, they can.
Definitely makes you feel old when you realise that PUBG is an old reference to some of the people watching this.
Yes.
The fun template is there. Just swapping whatever fucking of these things is the most popular right now.
Yeah.
It's still the same one, but there's lots of them. So
Yes, I think. But obviously, Fortnite eclipsed it so much that I think there's definitely young people who don't know where it came from. Those young people are incredibly young because it's not been that long since PUBG came out in the first place. Righty,
having babies.
Yeah, or at least watching anime. Then last thing is Mob Psycho 103, episode 8, transmission 2, Encountering the Unknown.
A heartwarming, family adventure until
one of them gets abducted by aliens.
It still does the super happy ending.
It does.
Mostly. I mean, it's a bit like, I don't know about this. Throughout that, I was just like, this is, and then it's like, I guess everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah. I knew it was good once, just for that opening shot of Tomei slumping in the car, and I was like, that's so well observed. That's very much I don't want to be on this journey, I'm going to slump in this car.
There's a lot of good, really real and funny because of that physical motion in this, like when they're going up the hill and that kind of shit, or if you've ever been on that fucking hike or anything, just like that kind of like, I have no fucking energy for this hike, that kind of thing.
It's much more, it's a lot, it's very, very loose, but when they're ascending up to the summit there and a little bit afterwards there, because I'd heard like kind of rumblings though it does something wild at the end, so I thought, with how loose they are, it's just going to fucking go completely fucking crazy with the visuals. It does something crazy, but maybe not what you expect from the usual like animation powerhouse this is. But I suppose they did that just a little while back for the end of the last of the arc, so maybe not go back to that well too often.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they probably have to go absolutely berserk in the next 4 episodes. So, yes, so they head up to the mountain. I think my favourite bit before we get to the aliens is your telepath guy realising that, like, oh no, yeah, Reagan is just this terrible liar who can read people and being scared
he said,
of that.
I can read your auras. And it's like, I know you're a bullshitter, but you're good at reading people, so I can't really call you out on it. And then the kind of cute thing of the girls, like, the whole time, just like, why the fuck am I here? Why the fuck? Like, this is bullshit. Like, this is all bullshit. But your man was late to the thing because he stayed up all night memorizing the magic incantation to summon aliens. Because they left the book back in the car and they parked the car in the middle of the woods. So they're never finding that car again. And it's just like he's put a lot of effort in, and they all chant the thing, even though your man knows, like, you know, that guy was like arrested for fraud like a couple of years ago, right? It's like,
yeah, but let him have this because we do this.
It's a beautiful moment, and we went there and we fucking did it.
We're fun spending New Year's together, and it's fun to say, you know what, fun, like this is way better than this fun. Sitting at home and rolling again, fun. I'm never gonna forget this, lad. This fun is amazing. It's having fun. Say, yeah, it's really good. So let's all go home. Yeah, it's getting cold up here, you know, fun. And then,
it's the aliens. They all have beautiful eyes.
Yes.
So Tommy, this is your chance. You've wanted dreaming this your whole life. What do you have to say? I don't know.
That was amazing as well. Yeah.
You want to just hang out?
The idea of the kid who's just like, I had this big dream that I always want to achieve. It's like, you're doing it. What are you gonna say? It's just like, this is awkward. I never actually planned on what to say. And the aliens are just doing what they did in their room the entire fucking time of eating fucking potato chips, drinking soft drinks, and playing games.
Check it out, Nintendo Switch. It's like, ooh. And they're already just like on the floor, but there's like the legs kind of kicking up and back, and the one leaning in. I get next go. It's like, oh man, they're a very innocent and pure race. It's like, but are they? Because there's something unsettling about, again, the big cute eyes, the ever-present smiles, or what appear to be smiles anyway.
They're not saying anything; they're just staring and smiling at you. Yeah. But they have a wonderful time. It's a lovely, wholesome time.
Everybody got up safely, except for that one dude, because they actually took him back to their home planet, and it's impressionable things.
You had the exchange of the gifts where they gave a magical crystal rock. It's like, I guess we have to give them shit too. It's like, have my Switch. It's like, Reagan's like, I was wearing my pajamas under my suit. You can have my pajama top. You know, it's like, oh, that's nice. But earlier that guy had said, it's like, hey, you guys, you're just like one of us. And they were all like, he's one of us. Let's take him home. Perfect. So they do. And it's like, dear diary, I've been trapped on alien planet for 5 years or something. And he doesn't specify time. He's been trapped there for a long fucking time. That
I have become the king.
The closing animation is so fucking gorgeous, because I really love like weird alien worlds depicted, and I'm looking at things here and it's like, yep, I'm seeing things and I'm seeing them move, but I don't know what I'm looking at, and it feels good.
Yes, there's a very Sam Raimi shot in one spot when the thing which is terrorizing the aliens is coming towards them, and it turns out to be tiny.
It's like a reverse of the force shot that Sam Raimi uses, because the aliens running towards the camera. But these guys are so peaceful. Yeah. They've never invented weapons. So this thing, the size of my family dog, was terrorizing them. And I was just like, no, stop it. And now I'm the hero of the planet, and I've married the queen, I think. I want to go home.
I think she came on to me, honestly. I'm not sure what was going on.
I was super high on alien food at the time. I can't really be held accountable for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I should get my lawyer on the phone. When I get back to my home planet, that is. But they've revered me now. They've adopted my fashions as their own, and
he
finally able to communicate.
And he's like, I want to go home. And they're like, absolutely, we'll fucking take you there now. Come on, let's go. And he gets home, but he does forget everything, and he looks a little different. So,
but not much time has passed at all. It's just like
10 days.
His parents are going to be very mad. You said you were going to a friend's house. What happened? I don't know.
Just a swerve right there, but I'd say, okay, oh well, geez, it actually happened. I suppose maybe we've seen ghosts and goblins in this thing like enough times, so maybe this is like, you know, only a matter of time for this came encounter. Then it swerves right down again. It's just like it's got a complete right angle. It's gone off the map. It's just like, I was like, oh, here there's a weird like alien abduction stories now. It's like too bizarre to be true.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. It's not out of Mob Psycho as a show's like entire thing, because it's all about like espers and psychics and ESPs, and aliens are obviously tied into that, and in a lot of the magazines that you'd read. So yeah,
because we've had yokai and other strange.
Exactly.
Phenomena.
Yeah.
But yeah, my favourite gag was you wish for you spend all the time not meeting aliens but hanging out in the room stacking, and then the aliens just want to do that as well. That was
a good time.
A great punchline to that entire ongoing story.
Like the good memories that you formed were the times you were hanging out with your friends. That was nice.
You were training all your life for it.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
What you thought was laziness actually had more to do with aliens than you ever realised.
You were on the right track.
Yeah. You gotta let them come to you, you know?
And always like the gag of a character who looks more anime than the anime characters do. That is always... it's like, because they describe them as matching the description of an alien, don't they? It's like, they got the thin bodies, the large heads with the giant eyes,
the bald heads, the claws and stuff. But it's just like they're pretty cute, though, aren't they? It's like, yeah.
I guess they never really described the Greys wearing women's clothing.
They never described them wearing big jumpers either.
Yes.
I mean, like, I think that probably would have made them. It would have softened the look a lot. Yeah.
I usually see them with like, you know, pictures of them. Including I've seen them wear as a backwards baseball cap and they're smoking the joints. But
yes,
that's why the most I've seen them clothes.
There's nice image, just like idle imagery that has no bearing to the story. Like that, you see one of them swinging on a satellite. They've attached a swing that they're swinging on at the end. This might be my favourite episode of the season so far.
It's great. I think part of it helped, like it had that build up in the last episode, and obviously the characters that we've known, but those characters haven't really done anything up to this point. That's the point of them. Yeah.
And you're completely distracted that 2 episodes ago, one of the main characters died.
I'm having too much of a fun time with these aliens to remember that. Yeah.
Man, like, you know, he could be out there somewhere. You know, this is just like our first step in achieving that, man. He could be there.
Yeah.
It's what he would have wanted.
Did we see the broccoli still floating in space in this episode?
You know, yeah. You think as they passed like the planets on the way to
They're
Earth,
going to space,
that's
how strange it was. It's just like everyone made it back home except for this dude.
Yeah.
And then it goes into that whole thing. It's like, wait, what? Hang on. And you're just too absorbed in that, baffled by it to do anything else.
That's it for this week. We're all done and dusted. When does Roboco start? That's not for a while still,
tomorrow, I think. Or this week, anyway.
Okay. Do we know where it's showing? That's a good other point.
Well, it's on
somewhere
TV in Japan. That's for certain.
They're trying to raise money to put stickers of Roboco on trains.
In the comic, I'm worried that Roboco's going to try and sell me an NFT in the next fucking one. I'm just
yes.
That'll put me right off.
It's a satire, right? Well, they do often do the things they mention when it's just a blatant promotional thing for something.
Oh yeah, 5th of December is when it's due to start.
Okay.
So that will be next Monday. So it won't be next week's episode. We'll cover it. If it shows up anywhere, it'll be the following week.
Yeah.
We will see. Because, it's a short. I'm not sure. When was the last time Crunchyroll picked up a short? Seems like a while now.
Yeah.
Seems like a while.
If you have to think, then it's probably not going to be there. I think a lot of shorts that we have got to have had to, they've been
on YouTube
things,
with
like Super
subtitles.
Shiro.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to convince Disney that Roboco is a high art kind of thing. Yeah, it's commenting on our society now. So
or
Disney,
it might,
come on.
yeah, or it may mention Bleach, given how all in they are on Bleach as well nowadays. Yeah, hopefully it shows up somewhere because I'm looking forward to seeing that a lot. I think that's the last thing. And let me just quickly check that there's no Detective Conan's creeping up on us with actual plot.
Always the danger of it, yeah.
It is. Episodes 1000 to present. Right. We have got... looks like we might be safe for the rest of the year. TV originals and then some remastered episodes that we won't get on Crunchyroll. Okay. Kind of wish they would do a deal to cover those as well.
Yeah.
But because there's obviously back episodes I've not actually seen. I'm relying on the Wikipedia to fill me in for like some of the stuff previous to when I started watching it regularly again, and also because Netflix put like a year's worth of Conan back file up, and then Crunchyroll had a different set of back file, and then have done it ongoing. And then they put on the stuff that Funimation had, like the first 2 years and a bit worth of Conan, and then there's this void of episodes you can't actually see officially translated. But that should be it. We'll be back next week with more of this. Ta-ta for now.
Stay warm, everybody.
Yeah.